All right. I think this will work. I hope. Here's hoping. Come on, phone. Come on. Come on, you dumb piece of stuff. There it is. Okay. It's time. Finally. Sorry about that. YouTube does weird stuff with streaming that's not like Twitch. So, still learning. Alright. Hello. My cats have left me because they're cat. Oh no, Jules is there. But I have my other cat. This is Charlie. He's my teaching assistant. He doesn't get paid, and he's not very good at grading, but he's awesome. So, yeah. Anyway, so I'm looking over here. That's the chat, and I'm already getting Emma grief about having the dog out. There you go. Boom. All right. So I don't know. It's probably about 30-second lag. This is life. But I'll be checking for questions. It's just pogs for days. So that's exciting. Alright. Is lower. Use a stream bitrate. That's whatever. Oh my gosh, I get so many errors. Alright, so we're going to get started. There's a lot of ground to cover today. So both in material and also in the magical land of stuff. Okay. So here we are. Let's see. Does that look ooby bloopy? YouTube is not the good. It's actually, I do like that you can rewind while you're watching something. Hi, dude. Alright, here's how I will give my lecture. Is he visible? That's important. Oh, I'm not visible. Boop. Haha. Here we go. Alright. So you can, Charlie and I are going to hang out and give you a lecture about some more function stuff. Alright, cool. So here we go. Project 1 is out. So you're going to be writing, I don't know if any of you have played Oregon Trail, but you're going to be writing a retriever trail, which you will be going from the Commons, I believe, to the ITE building and having the user play and face hazards as they go along. So that's pretty much the project. And for that project, you're going to need to know how to use pretty much everything we've done up to this point. I mean, certainly. But also, you're going to have to be able to do dictionary stuff. So we're going to be learning some dictionaries today. Today's going to be a double lecture. Incredible value. So that means 2 would you rathers, which are still doable over the internet. So we'll do that. Office hours are on Discord. If you haven't, you should have an email from the Reflector, which gives you an authentication code and a link to Discord. And you can go on there, plug in your authentication code into that channel, and then you'll be good to go. There's a waiting room, and in the waiting room you do exclamation point request, and then put in whatever problem you're having, just like you would do on the office hours sign-up form. And then a TA or instructor will grab you and grab your request and put you into a room that's just one-on-one. And even though the other TAs and instructors can see that room, and then you'll get help that way, and you'll be able to voice chat, and there's also like screen sharing and so on and so forth. So yeah, check that out. That's how we're going to be running office hours. Also, shout out, if I can shout out, to Min Chan, one of our TAs. He went into hero mode before the break and over the break and since then and before then, and helped write, or well, initially wrote the entire bot for that is managing the Discord, and then he and I have taken the bot and we're doing like a legit software collabo. So that's exciting. But yeah, so the Discord bot will be helping manage things, and we'll be improving it as we go in a special time, we'll call it. Because we're in a special time, we're not going to do attendance now anymore, which also, unfortunately for you, means that there won't be extra credit based on attendance, because we're not taking attendance. However, you've had a few opportunities for extra credit, and I think there'll be at least one more opportunity for extra credit before the end of the semester. But keep doing your labs and all that good stuff. But it wasn't going to be fair to take attendance on the internet, because a lot of you have been forced to go home, and you're sitting in like your house with your families, and you might not have good internet anymore, which was actually the case for me when I was an undergrad. So we don't want to penalize those students for not having ready internet access. So Deshaun, Min's not here, I don't think, right now. But he is a TA for the class. I don't think he's a TA for this lecture section, but that's how we do. All right. I'm going to look for questions. Min does have office hours. He's also super, super active on Discord. So if you want to say hey to Min and thank him for making there be actually good office hours available. Labs are online this week. Your normal discussion, I don't know if you guys heard that. That was my large cat running around. Lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, discussion. So your labs are going to be online, and your TA during what would be your lab discussion will have office hours in the Discord. So you can go, and if you have a question about the lab, you can go ask it, and the TA will your TA will help you out. But you'll be doing like the online submit system like you've been doing for all the other assignments. So you won't have to show it to your TA. You'll just have to submit it. So yeah. What do they have at D Hall today? Ugh. I think it's all packaged goods, and it's only international students. The campus is very shut down. All right, so here we go. Scope and passing order. So we kind of went over this last class, if you remember, a million years ago. So functions care about the order that you pass in the parameters. And so if you pass in the parameters in a different order, you'll get like different behavior. So if we look at this code, we have a function subtract that takes x and y and prints x minus y, and then the string of x minus y. So then down below we call the function, but we swap y and x in the call. So what ends up happening is the value of y gets sent in to be x in the subtract function, and the value of x gets sent in to be y in the subtract function. And so they kind of get swap-a-roodled. So when you run this code, it will print 4 minus 3 equals 1. It will not print 3 minus 4 equals negative 1. So that's something to keep in mind, especially when you're naming stuff, or if you ever like you're implementing a function and you're like, how did these things get swapped? That's a place where you should look. You should look at where your function's being called, and then make sure that the things are going in the right order. Because if you put them in a bad order, you're gonna get this weird behavior where things are swapped from how you would expect them to be. Oh my gosh! What is the cat doing? I think he may have become a large werecat. Can we see the large cat? Yeah, he'll be down here. He'll come. If not, I will go get him catnip, and he'll be down here. That'll be a fun little diversion. Okay, so scope. So when we talk about scope, what we mean is every little function is a world onto itself. So when you look at the variables that can be seen in a function, they only exist there. So in this function high, And in this function main, we have the variable name. So take a second and think, what happens if I run this code again? So if I have my hi function and my main function, what happens? Put your answer in chat. What do you got? I'll wait and watch chat. The cat's going nuts. He's always nuts. No, he's not trying to escape. He runs this place. King's not trying to escape his kingdom. So, what have you got? I'll wait. It's going to take a little bit for the stream to catch up. Oh, I gotta update the link in Discord. Oh my. Live stream. This thing. Discord. Oh, thank you, Agatha. Agatha MVP. Hello, Python, my friend. Okay. Back. Error! Ha! Okay, good. There is an error. And why is there an error? Because what happens is name is defined in main. So we have a variable defined in main named name. Oh. And when we call hi, we go into the function hi, and hi has no variables defined. So when we get into the function hi and it says print name, you'll actually get, I believe, symbol not defined. It'll say this print function call. So yeah. So, any questions about that? Naming a string. All right, cool. You guys, the stream is like super delayed. I don't know why. We'll figure it out. Okay, so there's technically there's some special naming that goes on with the things that you send into a function. So the difference between arguments and parameters, we're not gonna really test you on in this class, but we want to make you aware of them because you might hear these terms and you might want to know, oh, well, technically they're different, so you can correct somebody. Because isn't that what we all like doing, is correcting people? So local variables are variables that are defined within a function, right? They can't be seen outside of that function. So if we look at this code down here, the local variable is ending, which is defined in say hi. And then arguments are the things being sent into the function. So everything that's in green here, and I have to put my pointer on, everything that's in green here is being sent into the function. And so technically those are called arguments. However, you will hear me use arguments and parameters interchangeably, and most people do. But if you're being very specific and very technical, arguments are the name of the thing that are being sent into the function. Then the parameters are the things that are listed up the top in the declaration of the function. And so the way to think of it is like arguments are the things going in and parameters are what they're called when they get there. So yeah, this is just a little bit of terminology for you guys. So let's do a little bit more terminology. With that in mind, how would we call all of these things? What would we name them? Give it a second. If you're going to put your answer in chat, start with the top left-hand corner and go clockwise around. So dump some answers in chat. Meanwhile, for those of you who have the answer, we're just going to Charlie it up for a minute. For those of you, I'm sure I always get a bunch of Charlie questions. Charlie is 10? Is he 10 or 11? Okay, she has headphones. I think he's 10. Maybe he's 11. We don't actually know because we adopted him. He is a Dachshund Chihuahua mix, but he's also got a lot of we actually got one of those, like, it was on sale for like $20 and we had to figure out what is Charlie made out of. And I always joke that he was Dachshund Chihuahua and then like a third teacup pig / teddy bear. And the funny thing is the DNA results came back and it was Dachshund Chihuahua Poodle, weirdly enough. And then 30% of it, they're like, I don't know, it could be any of these things. And I'm like, that's where they got fooled by the teacup pig DNA. Yeah. All right. So I see now that I'm holding Charlie in the delayed version of the stream. So let's get to naming these things. So, boop. Ah, the answers. Ooh, a fade in. Wow, so fancy. So example here is the name of the function. Yeah. Charlie is sponsored by all sorts of mobile games. He's sort of a king of mobile games. So the name of the function is here, which is example in this case. The parameters, again, are the things that are received when they get there. Are you going to fuss at me? The function definition, it might be hard to tell with these brackets, but the function definition is talking about the whole thing. The whole thing is the definition of the function. That's where the function's defined. The body of the function is the actual code inside the function. Are you going to bark at me? Okay. Then the arguments are what are being sent in, and then down here, this is the call to the function. So hopefully you guys got it. Charlie's breed is Pog. He's not very enthusiastic. He's more of a Kappa, I think. Oh. Do you have opinions? Do you need to go back on the floor? All right. I'm going to put him back in his doggy bed. Ugh. Which is also covered in catnip because it's a kitty bed. All right. Yeah, so constants. Constants are defined at the top of your program after your header comment. They are global variables, but the question is, well, our coding standards forbids global variables. The thing is, they're not actually variables. Technically, constants are constant. Variables can vary, which is why they got that name, and constants are not. So constants are global, but they're not really variables. So that's why they don't really count. But you should never change the value of a constant. So we get that question a lot. Also, another thing to note is that in your file, it should be file header, constants, functions, if name equals main, in that order. That's the order you do it in, and that's the order you'll always do it in to the end of time. Well, actually, there'll be classes eventually, but that's when things get weird. So the rest of this little part of the lecture is going to be talking about care and feeding of functions, things to look out for. You probably already encountered some of these on your homework, but now that we're getting into a project, you're going to encounter a lot more of these because there's going to be a lot more functions flying around left and right. So a function will stop running its code and leave. It'll terminate as soon as it hits a return statement. So as soon as it hits a return statement, it's going to just jump out of the function. So let's go look at... all right, this is now more complicated. I can't just change windows. So I have it here. Boom. Slide example. Thank you. Thank you, Past Ben, for putting a slide example in. Get exclamation 17. And then get wow, this is really mad about the formatting here. What is your... Oh, because PEP8 is being violated. Okay. Super madness is happening. Okay, and then we'll get exclamation 24. So, what happens here? Think about this. What happens when I run this code? I'm gonna pop a debug point on there. So here we are. Get exclamation 17. Why are you guys you're MVPing Ryan? Well, you haven't even seen his Minecraft creations yet. Okay. I've given you a second to think about it. Think about it. Discuss amongst yourselves. I can't see what you guys are putting. I'll probably get to see it afterwards. Thanks, stream delay. It's the biggest problem with doing this, but at least it's live-esque. So let's run it. So I'm going to step into bloop, and then up here we have if age is greater than 18. Is age greater than 18? No, it's not. So it'll go in here. It'll just wait. Yeah, that's right. So it'll skip past the if statement, and it'll say, "Whoa, it's a kiddo," and then return gee whiz. Okay. Then I skip to the next line, and then I go in here. And then it says, if age is greater than 18, return my word. And now watch, when I hit this, boop, it doesn't execute the rest of the function. It just skips down and out of the function. So that's what happens. Return statements immediately return. So this is why functions are a much more wonkadacious form of control, is because they kind of like, when you call them, you jump around, and then these return statements are ways to like immediately pop back to the calling function. So it can create some squirreliness in your code. Yeah. So now here's a question. What printed? What printed? If I click on that console button, what did it do? Yeah, what's the difference between print and return? I get this question every semester. What is the difference between print and return? That's an excellent question, and it confuses everybody ever that takes this class. Everybody gets confused by it. So what prints? What prints out here? Whoa, it's kiddo. Cool. All right. So, boom. It just printed, whoa, it's a kiddo. And here's why. The reason it just printed, whoa, it's a kiddo, is that stuff only prints when it's sent to print. Return just means I want to give back to the calling function. Oh. Where is he? Why is he barking? Oh, he's a weirdo. Print only prints when it's called. Return returns the thing back to the calling function. So if we wanted to print my word and gee whiz in this exercise, how would we modify it? Exactly, Mateos, got it. It just carries the value back to the calling function. It doesn't necessarily print it. So then how would we print these things? Without, oh, by the way, extra bit to the challenge, without changing the get exclamation function. With only changing my little main program here, how do I print my word in gee whiz? Gosh. I don't know if you guys can hear that. I wonder, oh, it's probably cat battles. So my two cats are buddies, and they will occasionally battle each other for funsies. And the younger, larger cat will just hold the other cat's head, like you see on those when they have little kids fighting or something. It's kind of like that, where he's like having his head held and he's swiping at him, and Jules will just sit there with his paw on his head and be like, nah, man, you are not large enough to mess with this. All right, so let's run it now. So what I've done is I've said I'm going to print whatever this function gives back to me. So now it's actually printing out what's being returned from the function. Okay, this is something that snags everybody. And then I saw a question in there that was, well, when do I return a string and when do I print it? Well, it depends on what you're trying to do, right? If you're writing a function that returns a string, you should return a string, absolutely. If in that function you want to print maybe an intermediate result, or maybe you want to print something to the user, then like while you're executing that function, then you use print. So there's no rule about where print statements go. It's just something, it's a style thing, and it's also something that you're gonna get a feel for the more practice you get, right? It's like, when do I play an F sharp? When an F sharp should be played, right? So it's something you kind of have to get a feel for. But yeah. Any other questions? Stream the cat war. Yeah, cat war. All right. All right, moving on. All right, I gotta flip my situation. Back to the slides. Cool. All right. That's an important point. I get that question every time. What's the difference? Why? Return doesn't print? No, return does not print. You have to do extra work to get a print to happen. If you don't return anything, Python will just return none. So if I remove the return statements, oh boy, all right, here we go. PyCharm, then switch to PyCharm. If I remove these the return statement here, what prints out? What is everything that prints out if I remove the return statement? And you're gonna see this a lot. So I'm gonna run it. And it prints, whoa, it's a kiddo, and none, and my word. Wow, this is small. Can I big it? Yeah. So it prints none. And the reason it prints none is that when the age is less than 18, it doesn't hit a return statement, and it hits none. This is a problem, because suppose I want to do dot upper to each of these things, right? I want to put them in uppercase. Now what happens? Oh, I get an error. And that's because none is a special value. It's a reserved word, so we can add this to our list of reserved words that we've conquered. It's a special type, actually. And so none is a value, and the type of that value is none type. Very clever naming, I know. So so you have the other variables that kind of work like this are true and false, right? True is not the string true, and false is not the string false, and none is not the string none. It's its own value. And where what none means is saying there's nothing here. There is no value. It's missed. There's nothing here. And so true is a value. It is the value that this thing is true. And false is also a value. It is a value, this thing is false. None is just there's nothing there, right? So you're gonna get a lot of errors because you'll probably remember to have a return statement. Oh, I'm not on the slide anymore. Oy, this is gonna take some practice, everybody. But actually now I want to go back to the code. You're usually gonna remember to write a return statement, but you could see in this get exclamation, I just forgot to put a return statement in every place that could result in the function finishing. And so it's just a super easy mistake to make. I still make it all the time. It's just one of these things that are really easy to muck up. All right. Let's go back to the slides. Excellent. I keep looking over here because that's where the chat is. And I keep lecturing to my phone, which is weird. Okay. So you'll get an error if you goofed, and it'll have type error none type object is not iterable, or type error none type object does not have method upper, or type error blah 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 blah, right? You'll get something with none type in it. And so debugging strategy is, for you guys where you're at right now in 201, the problem that will cause this is almost 100% going to be, oh, I forgot to return something from a function. So you're going to have to track down on that line of code where it says that you had a none type error. There's going to be a variable there that came from a function call, or it's actually just a function call. And so you're going to have to trace back through your code to find where that function may not have returned something. And these are really tricky bugs to find, and it's a very good example of where programming gets super difficult because the error is not, the line number they give you is not where your bug is. Your bug is elsewhere. It could be like way up higher or lower in your code. It could be somewhere else entirely. And so this is where things get really tricky, and this is where you definitely have to put your sleuthing hat on and get your magnifying glass and go, tell people from Scotland Yard that they're dummies and that it's elementary and all that good stuff. So it's when you're actually going to have to start combing your code for finding errors. So you might be trying to feel a little tricky. Like, oh, well, I want to return multiple things. The coding standards say I'm not allowed to do that. So I'm going to try and be tricky. And so what you'll try to do is something like this. And you'll go in and you'll say, oh, I want to modify age. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this variable age. Age equals 45. Actually, I'm going to say boop, my age equals 45. And then I'm going to do get exclamation my age. And then in here, I'm going to return, I don't know, hi. But in here, I'm going to do age plus equals 1. I'm such a hacker. Oh, no, not age, because it's not defined here. Haha. Oh, I'm not showing you my code, am I? Dude, I'm not a very good hacker, guys. Okay. I'll get better at this, I think. Wait, is this even the right code? It is. All right. So what we have here is I made this variable my age. I sent it to my function get exclamation. Now I'm going to try and add 1 to it. And then I'm going to print that age afterwards. And what I want it to do is print 46. That will mean that I have successfully been a hacksaw. So let's see. Have we hacksawed? It printed 45. So no, I have failed at hacksawing. So the thing is, once this variable goes in here, the value gets copied, and any changes that are made to it are not seen by the calling function. This is going to be true until like next class when I tell you it's not always true, but we'll get there when we get there. So why didn't that work? It's because what happens underneath is that there's like a hidden bit of lines of code that get run here. So secretly Python did age equals my age. But you don't know about you don't have to write that code. Python does it for you. And so if you remember way back, this kind of variable assignment, they don't track each other, they don't watch each other, it's not sticky. If once you assign in a variable to another variable, you can change it and the original variable won't be modified. So that's why these changes don't track to the other places. All right, now we're gonna switch back to Chrome. Boop. This is like the most annoying thing about streaming. Okay, so why didn't that work? Functions only assign the values of arguments, like I said. In other words, functions can't see changes to the variable sent in as arguments. And again, I'm going to tell you why that's actually not 100% true. After the or next lecture, I think is the scheduled time for it. It's it's kind of considered out of scope of class. Oh man, I actually have them here. Which of my dog's superpowers do you want? Here's our first Would You Rather brain break, brought to you by Charlie, who you've now seen live. But there's an adorable picture of him. You may notice he's kind of stealthy in there, but this is Jules in the background. So pop some questions in chat about this particular Would You Rather. I'm going to put together a poll on it. I'm also going to go get one of the cats because, I don't know, why not? So, and ask some questions. Yeah, I know I can do hotkeys, but I feel it's not a matter of having to go into OBS. It's a matter of remembering what I'm streaming. So if I probably need to like go do this on on my machine that has multiple monitors so that I can see what I'm streaming and remember. That's not right. But I'll be right back. Just one moment. I'm gonna go get a cat. He's gigantic and he's disinterested. He'll be back. He usually starts like tormenting me. All right. Why would I want someone's appendage to fall asleep? I mean, it's kind of a lame superpower, but like you could see someone who has their purse stolen, and the guy's running away with the purse, and be like, bam, his leg falls asleep, and he goes, wah. So it's kind of a superpower because you can just look at them and be like, oh, your leg's asleep, and they go, ah. Is that a cat? People don't offer you food unless you kind of give them the bacon face. You don't have to worry about people running up to offer you food. Though you might lose control of it. Charlie, when he walks... I mean, think it's just like Charlie when he walks around. People will be like, oh, can I feed him? Can you stream Minecraft? I sure can. Can we have a 201 Minecraft server? No, I'm not paying for that. You guys can set one up, but no. What's the first one mean? Oh, so if you don't know, like, make someone's appendage fall asleep. It's like if you lay on your arm and it gets really tingly and hurts and you can't, it's kind of numb. That you can make someone's like arm or leg get all like numb and tingly. Minecraft streams instead of Would You Rather. Drew, why not both? Percalo knows dose, Drew. What are my specs? You need a 1080 Ti or higher for what? What is for Minecraft? DXDag for the stream. I'm running OS X, guys. Come on. I don't work on my gaming machine. So you gotta separate concerns. Okay. I'm gonna pop up a poll. Fast poll, ba ba ba. Fast poll, making a poll, doing a poll, fast poll. Okay. Would you rather fall asleep? What was the other one? Oh, begging for food. this category will be animals. And then we'll create the poll. It's been created. Thank you. All right. So let's science. We're about to science. Where is... Setup tour. No. Well, maybe. Who knows? This semester. We still got enough weeks. I might get hard up for something to kill the time. So there's your poll. And then we're going to get back to it. You guys can put the poll in, and then we'll look after everyone's had a chance to do it. So that concludes this particular set of slides. Thank you for participating. Look at all of you up there with your beautiful anonymous animals. So let's go to the next one. This is for data structures. Yeah, so dictionaries. Let's talk about dictionaries. Woo! Okay. Dictionaries are really exciting. They're very, very powerful. When you get to data structures, you'll find that dictionaries are kind of just the best. But for now, we're just going to talk about how to use dictionaries and why are they useful. So usually this is a separate lecture, but we kind of rolled them together because you guys have such incredible power and experience. We're bumping these two lectures together. So here is a graph from last semester. And take a guess at what this is the amount of help requests per day in our office hours, our in-person office hours. Does anybody want to take a stab at what those peaks are? What those days are? Oh man, someone's already dictating. Oh gosh. Guys, do not type your passwords into YouTube chat, please. Thank you. I know, I'm a buzzkill, but don't do that. Actually, just to... Okay. Yeah, so these spikes are for the assignments, right? And so if you come in on days that are not when the assignments are due, and now what we mean is come in, we mean like go on Discord, you're going to get helped much faster if you're not. This is per day. So if you look down here, like days after the project are due, there's none. There's like nobody comes in. It's something like 10 people come in the entire day. Last semester, one of our TAs was sitting in office hours, and it was so slow on a Monday. They had Monday morning that the lights were motion controlled, and the lights went out on the poor TA. It's like, oh, so go in, say hey. The Discord office hours, they're going to be just like in-person office hours in the sense that like the TAs have been instructed on days of the assignment near assignment due dates to only give you guys 10 minutes each. And that's going to hold in Discord. In fact, we might write the bot to enforce it. So your office hour session might just get closed on you. And you'll have to get back in line. And we don't do this to be cruel or unusual or mean. We actually do it because we want a lot of people to be able to get some amount of help on the days that projects are due, right? So our TAs are really wonderful, compassionate students, and it's hard. It's hard for me. It's hard for them to say, oh, our time is up and move on. But we really got to do that because we don't want the wait times to be astronomically high. And it's going to be even more pronounced, and we're going to have to more heavily enforce it on Discord because there won't be that like sort of physical realm of TAs being able to see the other students that are waiting because they'll be sitting there, right? So be mindful of that. So start looking at the project now, get started early, test as you go, all that good stuff. Yeah. guys. Okay. You're still trying to make this thing happen. Oh, okay. We will get them. So today we're going to talk about tying data together, right? Suppose I gave you the assignment of, I have a list of cooking ingredients like flour, yeast, baking soda, cranberries, or whatever. And then I have another list of amounts, and I want to associate the two of them together. Well, that's kind of a pain, right? Because if you want to find out how much baking soda there is, you have to write a loop that goes through the baking soda list, finds what index baking soda is at, and then looks in the other list for how much baking soda is. It's just really annoying. So what we would like is something to do it a little bit easier, so we don't have to write all these loops and all this nasty stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to define a whole new data type. Oh my gosh, what incredible value. And so this data type is called a dictionary. And what they do is they allow you to associate keys with values. So instead of having to use an index that tells you what order the thing is in a list, you give it a key, and the key is like a magical passcode or whatever to get the value back out. So lists have indices and values. Dictionaries have keys and values. And so if we look here, we have the way we make an empty dictionary are these two curly braces. And then the way that we associate the value 3 with the key yeast is we do this kind of assignment. And then if we want to get 3 back out, it's just kind of like a list in the sense that we do ingredients yeast inside of that. What might be like your mind right now is that, yeah, you can use strings as indices, or really strings as keys in dictionaries. So before we were only using integers in those square brackets, but for dictionaries you can use other things as well. So take a moment. Let's go see how the poll's doing. You mad ladies and lads. Oh, 54 to 46. Nice. Only 48 votes. Come on, guys. Come on. This is important stuff. This is important stuff. Yeast is not a nice word. It's like moist. All right. That's fair. That's fair. So I'm going to skip ahead to the second would you rather because it's actually kind of helpful. This one's actually a topical would you rather. Incredible. So would you rather, 1, have a bag that you can put objects into? Do I have a bag? I do. I have a bag. It's a bag. So you have a bag, and then I could put something into it, like a thing of peanuts. And I put it into the bag, and I say, peanuts! And then the item disappears from the bag. The bag is now empty. And then later, I can say, peanuts! And the peanuts will again mysteriously reappear in the bag. Magic. That was the lamest magic trick in the world. So that's one thing. You have this magical bag that you can use to any physical line. Hey, he's back. What's up, dude? Hey. Hey, buddy. Hey. Oh, yeah. So yeah, you just get the head of any physical line. I'm gonna hang out so you guys can see himself. He's just chilling. Yeah. So let's see some questions. Is the bag an endless void? No, it's a normal bag. It's just when you put an item into it, you can say a word and the item disappears. I'd forget what's in the bag. Yeah, right? That's the funny thing is that's what happens with dictionaries too. You'd be like, I forget the keyword for the thing that I put in. If it's not wallet, I don't know what it is. No, but you could keep you could keep unlimited stuff in it. The size of the bag, it's the size of a normal tote bag, like canvas bag. All bags are pocket dimensions. He's big cat. Is it a messenger bag? No, it's like a canvasy tote bag. People get mad at you for skipping the line. No, people will not get mad at you. They'll be like, oh, of course. It's Aki 101. Of course, they're here. They should go to the head of the line. We have multiple words. Yeah. Okay. So Drew's getting it. So what you can do, you put something in the bag, and then you say like, jewels, and then it will disappear from the bag. And you can put something else in the bag and say, I don't know, like mysterious cardboard tube. You could put that in the bag. Well, this wouldn't fit. It has to fit in the bag. But I could put like a bunch of soda in the bag, and I could say soda or Dr. Pepper, and it would disappear. And then later, with the empty bag, I could say soda, and Dr. Pepper would appear, and I could pull it out. Can you put a line into the bag and then go to the front? No, I don't think you can fit people into your bag. Where's my buddy who always asks about babies? I am so sorry I forgot your name, but there's usually... I'm going to ask his question for him, because if you were here, you know who you are. Always asks a baby question. Yes, a baby would fit in the bag, but the baby would go into the special dimension with only the air it had in the bag, so you probably wouldn't want to put a baby in the bag. I know. It's a little macabre. Would you put jewels in the... I wouldn't put jewels in the bag either. Is it a physical line? Yeah, it has to be a physical line. Or one of succession. No. That would be amazing. They call him King Gomes. Babies? Babies. It's those darn babies. Does the void have oxygen? It has the amount of oxygen that was in it when you said the magic word. All right. These are great questions. I'm going to set up the poll. Goodbye, Jules. He's off to get in a tussle. All right, fast poll. Let's see. Let's update. No more votes for this one? All right. This is sad. Sad. Create my poll. Let's do it. Magical bag or line. Bag. Line. And this is also going to be under category animals. Create my poll. Yay, my poll has been created. Excellent. Let me give you guys the poll. How would you escape the bag if you were inside of it as the owner? Well, you would have to be canvas bag sized. But I guess you could say the word while you were in the alternative dimension, and then it would put you back in the original bag. Damn, but multiple babies. Okay, yeah, but the point is, they're only going in there with a certain amount of air. So you could commit so much murder with this bag. You guys take it always to a dark place. Always. You're not like, oh gosh, I could fill it up with all these food and supplies and go into disaster-ridden areas and just feed people. Just feed everybody. I could take the bag to a storehouse and have them fill it up, and they just say 1, 2, and then I go in and I just pull them out. You're just like, I committed a lot of murder. Thanks, guys. Thanks. All right. Fast poll. Jump to results. People are going bag. All right. Well, I mean, with the social distancing now, the line would have to be fairly spaced out, but you still could get to the front of it. Okay. Good stuff. I like it. We're going to let that simmer some more. We got to get through the rest of us, though. If you stick around to the end, there will be a Minecraft tour. So the point of this Would You Rather is the bag is a dictionary and the line is a list, essentially. So the way dictionaries work is you put some value into them associated with a key, And then later you can use that key to retrieve that value. And you're going to be using these on project 1, so look lively. The keys must be unique and immutable, which means that if I put something into the bag, if I put peanuts into the bag, and then I say peanuts, and then I put this pen into the bag, and I say peanuts, either the bag will do nothing, or it will somehow destroy my peanuts and put the pen in its place. The way it works in Python is it will destroy the peanuts and put the pen in its place. So you can't have duplicate key. You can't use a key more than once. You can put multiple values in for a particular key. And to do that, you would need to use a list. So I could say, I'm going to put a pen and peanuts into the bag at once, like as a list, and then say peanuts, and then they would be stored away. And then later I could say peanuts, and both of them will come out. But if I put them in one at a time, they'll overwrite each other, which is not good, right? So that's something to keep in mind, because you might accidentally start losing values because you're overwriting the same key onto them. If I host a Minecraft server, will I join? If you host a Minecraft server, will I join? Maybe. I don't have much time for... So there's a 201 TA Minecraft server, and I haven't had much time to do anything on there, as you'll see soon. But, yeah, I mean, maybe over the summer, I'll pop in. How do we make a dictionary? So if I want to make an empty dictionary, I just put square brackets in. If I want to fill a dictionary with some default values, I can put in these. So these are cats of past, present, and future. So I put the key joules in, and the value is tux. So I would be saying the word joules and putting tux into associated with joules. And then I'd put tabby in and associate it with Tibble, okay? And then put in calico would go into the bag, and then stubby would be the keyword for it. So if you want to access a single value out of a dictionary, it's the same thing from a list, right? But instead of putting the index in, you put the key in. Let's see if there's any question. Talking about toilet paper. Will you play Minecraft with us? Yeah. Can you join my Minecraft realm? I mean, I could join it, but I won't do anything there. So maybe this summer there'll be Minecraftery. I'm not teaching it with the summer, so. Change the value. We use assignment. So it's just like lists, essentially. Like if you want to overwrite the third element of a list, this is essentially what you do. Here, you just say, if I want to change the value that's associated with this key bird, you use this assignment right here at the bottom. So it's fairly straightforward. If we want to remove both a key value pair, both things, you use this syntax. You basically say, you grab your bag and you say, you could put, say maybe you put a fresh little basket of strawberries into your bag, and you put them in your bag. And then you close it and you say strawberries. But time still passes in the void where these strawberries exist. And then later you get another fresh thing of strawberries and you're like, I want to put oh no, those strawberries have been in there for 3 months and they're going to be really smelly. So rather than having to say strawberries and clean out the strawberries, you can just say, I want to delete strawberries and get rid of their associated void. And the fact that you even have a word associated with them. So then after you do this deletion, the dictionary won't have that key either anymore. So this gets rid of both of the key and the value in the dictionary. I love seeing the chat in the weird order. Does anyone have any toilet paper? Nope, because sets don't have key-val pairs. I was like, what? That's a weird comment. But yeah, no. Is dictionary the same as a set? No, they function differently. Fun fact is underneath the hood, in the world underneath, they're actually quite similar, but they behave very differently. I mean, underneath the hood, a backhoe and a go-kart are fairly similar, but they do very different things. Okay. There's a fancy way to get a value, and I'm going to go live code the dickens out of this in a minute. There's a fancy way to get a value. The fancy way to get a value is to use this .get method. Remember, methods are things that you do dot on a variable to do. So this .get method is what we call, and you give it the key, and it will either give you the value if it's there, or none if it's not there. Well, how is that different from indexing? It's different from indexing because if in my normal bag, say I've never used the keyword Batman before, and I just go up to the bag and I'm like, Batman. The bag, if I've never stored anything associated with Batman before, it will just explode. It'll be like, no, you've never told me about Batman before, right? So what we have, the nice thing about get is that it will not give you an error if the thing isn't there. It'll just return none, which is nice because then you can say, is get equal to none, and then you're good to go. So let me explanify with some coderification. Okay, dictionaries. Problem 1. Oh gosh, I have to increase the size individually. Actually, let's just do it through the Python console. Can't I make this bigger? Please? Please? Alright, let's go presentation mode. Does this still work? Does that still work? It still does work. Excellent. Cool. Alright. So we're going to do cats equals Tux Boy is going to be Jules, and Tabby Bro is going to be Tybalt, and Dog Shaped is going to be Charlie. Does get work for lists? It's different for lists. Okay. If I try to print that, it will give me an error. Run it. Boom. Key error, Mr. Styles, right? Because Mr. Styles is not in that dictionary. So what I could do is I could do .get Mr. Styles, and now it'll print none. So it doesn't actually give me an error. So this is useful because it allows you to ask a dictionary for a value and not necessarily get an error if it's not there. Okay. Strawberries and mold. Someone's adding me without a question. That doesn't help. The time after the program question is beyond the scope of this particular lecture. You can ask it in the Discord, and someone will answer you. You can @ me in the Discord, and I will try to answer you, but someone will probably answer you. We have many skilled humans. Okay. Agatha is a question answering machine. Okay. Back to Chrome. Excellent. Oh, that's the would you rather we already did, which is an excellent reminder. Let's see how you guys voted. There's 69 of you, and 50 of you voted. That's a pretty good turnout. So 50 of you voted. It's pretty heavy in favor of bag. I need to sweeten the line deal. I thought about making it so that the line could be like an electronic line, so for like ticket purchasing or whatever. But I think that might make it line. It might tilt the needle too far towards line. But this is good. This is good feedback. I can tune these for future semesters. Excellent. All right. Wait, was I on? Okay, I was on the right thing. Cool. All right. If you want to loop through a dictionary, you still use a for each loop, and in that case, you'll get every key value. Key value is dangerous. You'll get every key that exists in the dictionary. So let's do it. PyCharm. So let's say for key in cats print key. So with that in mind, what does this do? What does this do, guys? Can I use the power to buy toilet paper? Of this whole thing, the toilet paper has me most confused. Apparently, someone told me it started in Australia, the rush on toilet paper. I don't get it. I would really think it would be like if you told me, oh, there's a worldwide pandemic of respiratory infections, I would say, and what do you think people did a mad rush on? I'd say, I don't know, Vicks Vapo Rub or NyQuil or I don't know, gin, but no, it's toilet paper. It's like the least essential thing in the world. I mean, it's definitely a nice to have, but in terms of here comes a respiratory infection, I don't get it. I really don't get it. But then again, people. Imagine a world without TP. Yeah, it's called Europe. They have bidets. They're great. Thank you, Ryan. All right, I'm going to run this. So initially it prints the none because Mr. Styles isn't in there. And now it's printing all of the keys, Tuxboy, Tabby Bro, and Dog Shaped. So then how do I get Jules, Tybalt, and Charlie? You guys are this is very productive. So what I can do is I can do cat's key. So now it's printing Tuxboy, Jules, Tabby Bro, Tybalt, dog shaped, then Charlie. Oh god, you guys are getting very, very specific in the Discord chat. Very specific. Okay. Let's go back to the future. Wait, I'm getting better at this. I'm at least remembering to go back to my slides. Alright, so there's some live coding problems. We're going to do these as review for next time. This was a lot of cover to ground. This was a lot of ground to cover today. Which, is kind of silly considering it's our first day of taking the class online. However, I wanted to make sure you guys were super prepared for this project that's out there, and kind of cover all of this ground so that you can start playing with these concepts and so that you're not completely confused by the project description. Professor Hamilton sent out an email that linked you to my YouTube channel. Remember to like and subscribe. I usually say that as a joke on the last day of class, but now I can say it for real. So remember to like and subscribe. But you actually should subscribe so that you don't have to find the link every time. Generally, I'll try to put up the scheduled stream a bit earlier so you can hop in there and it'll just start going for you, assuming I don't run into the problem I ran into today, but we're learning. But anyway, go check out Professor Hamilton's channel as well. He did a really, really thorough walkthrough of the project description. So for a lot of you, this is the first computer science project that you've had to do. It's not homework. There's not a bunch of problems in there. It's just one really big assignment. And so it's intimidating. It's so intimidating to go in there and see, oh my gosh, it's like a 15-page document. right? I mean, some of you have never, ever in your life had a assignment that's the description of the assignment is 15 pages. And so check out Professor Hamilton's walkthrough of that. It's great. I watched it. And that'll really help you get familiarized with how it's organized, what's being discussed, and also he'll give you some insights into like why what skills we're trying to get you guys to practice with the assignments. We don't just write the assignments to torment you. Every single question that we write, every part of an assignment that we write, we're thinking, what valuable practice can we give students to prepare them for the remainder of this class and classes beyond? So I know sometimes it just feels like torment, but we're very deliberate in trying to make sure that these assignments are like useful. So go check that out. Can I link his channel? It's pinned in the Discord. It is pinned in the Discord. You also have an email of it, and I'm sure one of you enterprising gentlefolk will pop it into the YouTube chat as well. But you can also check out his lectures. We tend to cover topics in a slightly different order, but we are both covering the material in advance of when they're needed for assignments. So we both have slightly different takes on ordering, but yeah, we're getting to all the material that you'll need for each assignment. All right. So here comes the fun part. This is it for the class, but now you're gonna watch me stumble around. We're gonna be doing Minecraft. So let's do it. It's Minecraft time. Bam! All right, cool. So here we go. Remember that I'm using a trackpad. So you're like, oh, this guy's... I just don't know Minecraft very well. I haven't played it in like 5 years. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to make sure that it looks like it's streaming correctly on my phone. It's Minecraft time. How do you play Minecraft? You dig? Alright, it looks like it's working. Cool. Alright, so here we go. Morning, 201. Let's go explore what your TAs did. Oh, that's exciting. Oh, okay. Here come the TAs. Excellent. Oh, it's nighttime. Oh, that's spooky. All right, so I might get attacked, so I should get my trusty sword. Oh, I could actually just sleep. I could sleep. It'll be more... Well, no, actually, no. I take it back. It'll be more fun at night. So those of you, if you have Sean Jordan as a TA or you've met Sean, this is his little mansion here. Very sort of Spartan situation. It's not like... it's a lot of glass, but, you know, he's just got the essentials in here. You know, this is my sort of bungalow. It's small. It's, you know, self-contained. It's talk about utilitarian. It is like almost the minimum number of blocks needed to be Heidi. Yeah. So then we'll go over here. This is a lovely little pond, little road here. So this is our little neighborhood. So we're gonna take a walk over to Anna's house. Oh, that's Ryan, I think. And we're going to open the door. Oh, okay. Here we go. This is a nice... So, I think Anna just started... This is Anna. She is a TA for the non-major section, but you may have met her at office hours. She's awesome. And this is her sort of cathedral-esque abode. And, you know, she just made it. Look at all these checks. So, yeah. All right. So, get hyped. So, Austin, if you guys have Austin as a TA... Boom! That's what Austin did. Oh, it's hard to tell, but it is suspended in the night sky. And he did this. This requires going to like the alternate doom dimension. So close her door. Get closed. So yeah. And then I just opened the other. Wow, you guys are really knocking on my Minecraft etiquette. So yeah, and then we have this. Oh, it's a track. Oh, what is... Oh, wait, who did this? So this is our good friend and lecture assistant, and also your discussion TA, possibly, Ryan Barron's handiwork. Like, oh, there's a track. Oh, I wonder if it's long. Oh my. So, yeah, you guys got pogged. Nobody freaking. So, that was Austin, by the way. In fact, when he was doing it, he was like, oh, I'm doing stuff for Pog. And I was like, Pog? Like, is there Pog in Minecraft? And he's like, oh, it's a streamer thing. And I'm like, oh, the PogChamp thing. No, I got you. I didn't know. I was like on the Minecraft wiki. I'm like, what is a Pog? Am I underwater? Why is this dripping? Anyway, this is a really long mine shaft. So tune in next time. I'm going to just leave this as a teaser. Tune in next time. These tracks go on for a while. So next time I'm going to take you on Ryan Barron's wild ride. And so we're going to be doing a tour of his extensive operation, we'll call it. I think it's thoroughly... This is why we stay after lecture. I've got class in 9 minutes, but this is more important. Awesome. So I'll actually give you a micro tour. Do I have a minecart on me? Probably not. That would involve... Ryan, you moved your minecart. Or actually, we'll even do another preview. Let's see where Ryan is. I'm going to teleport to Ryan because I am an admin and I have the power. But who... Oh, crap. What? Ryan's like Z. Okay. Boop! Oh, there he goes! Oh, there he goes. Oh, he stopped. Hey, what's up? I can barely see this because I have so much glare on my monitor. Hey. Ooh, look at you. Oh, hi. That's... Ooh, bloop. Okay. I don't even know where in this whole situation. There he goes. Off into the night. That's Ryan for you. Look at this. This is... Alright, so we're going to do a little bit just to get you guys hyped for next class. Boop, 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 boop. Here we go. Do-do-do-do. Here we go. Da-da-da-da-da. Here we go. It's not very pastoral here. What is my MC username? I need it for research purposes. It's Crazy Doc J. I don't remember, like years ago my friend was like, you should be a hot dog, so I'm a hot dog. But I'm not giving out this server's... Oh, I stopped. So here we are at a little junction point. So there's like to the spawn to Grand Central Station. So yeah, this is like one of the least elaborate parts of this little journey, and I'm gonna save it for next time. So thanks to the TAs for creating awesome stuff. There's even more things. I know Hirsch has been in here doing fun stuff. I think Mansour has a little like overlook situation. So every class will be going in and looking at the cool stuff the TAs have made. Eventually we want to do like a scale UMBC campus, so that'll be fun. But yeah, so that'll be something. I know this is a hard time for all you guys, and it's difficult and weird, and you probably just made a bunch of friends. A lot of you are freshmen and just made a bunch of friends that you've had to leave behind early for the summer, which is lame. So I encourage you all to go on Discord, make some Minecraft servers of your own. Don't lose touch with the awesome people you met this semester. Keep all that stuff going. Just because we're physically apart doesn't mean we need to be virtually apart. So yeah, more of this to come. I hope this wasn't completely intractable. Yeah, and make a lot of use of the office hours that we have now, because this is just a weird semester, and those help resources are going to really help you pull through. So, and Techie Nexus. I forget, who is Techie Nexus? Who are you, Techie? I forget. Is that Austin? I think that might be Austin. Will may or may not have added you to our realm. I don't even know if I have the realm things. That's... Oh, it's Cam! Cam is a former TA. That's right. So I'll probably show this to 291 as well. That's the UMBC server. Anyway, thank you guys. Go to your other classes though. Don't hang around for this. I'm not going to show you anymore. It's going to be for next time. It's going to be for next time. And I'll get Jules here to sign you guys off. Ugh, Jules, you're so heavy. Oh! Dun, dun. He looks really happy to be here, right? Dun, 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 dun. Actually, if I put some birds on my screen, he'll kind of lose his gourd. Hold on. Birds, though. Birds. Birds? 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 Wait. Birds. Birds. It's relaxing TV for cats. Hey, dude. Check it out. Oh, look. It's birds. He'll notice it in a second. Wait for it. Wait, you think that's outside? I thought you were the smart one.
He is the smart one. Birds should be outside.
He is the smart one. Birds should be outside. All right, well, actually, the birds are outside. Anyway, have a great day, guys. Thanks for joining in on this silly nonsense. Bye.